Welcome to Mitsumaru City. The last build in my city was upgrading the road system and building an elevated motorway that I'll use one day. Today I'm going to build myself a little bus that goes around the city. It's not going to be the most perfect bus in the world because I'm using cubes to make it, don't forget, and I'm also not proficient at vehicle design. It's not the easiest thing for me to do. I'm using the Yuushya mod for all of the assets to build this absolute monstrosity of a bus. I'm also using the Axiom mod to place in big windows that can go around the bus. This is going to be like a big ice cream van that everybody can sit in and go around the city. Right now I'm just placing in those giant windows and moving them with the Axiom mod. It's an extremely powerful mod for copying and pasting things. I've just realized that the bus is sitting on the wrong side because this is a left-handed drive city. I need everything to go on the left. Oh, I wish I could just place a bus and it's done, but I can't, so here we go. Now I'm putting in these little side pieces, and I've got to have a little bit more detail to allow me to put some signs. Doesn't it look like a little ice cream van? I'm also going to have a steering wheel, which is basically a wheel. That looks really good. Now at the top, I'm going to have this white thing and the back part of the truck. Here I'm going to put in some logs that I'm going to change in a little while. My idea for that is to have little windows, and I also want to put in one of those map things. At the front of the bus, I need a gear stick and some kind of accelerator for the driver to use. So I'm using sticks and buttons to make that happen. Sadly, the driver doesn't have a seat. So while he's driving the bus, he's got to stand up and press the buttons and move the wheel. That's probably breaking all the health and safety rules in the world, but there isn't a health and safety department in the city yet, so I don't care. Now I'm just changing all of those logs to allow me to put in a map. I've made 9 maps. I've designed the map thing in Illustrator. It says Mitsumaru City bus service. Should be ice cream service really, shouldn't it? And they're sitting on the logs. That kind of looks silly at the minute, but I can change the logs to be completely blank. And that's the plan. I also need some seats in this bus. So first I'm going to change all of these to be blank. I'm also going to add the little seat at the back, which is a couch. That's brilliant, isn't it? A little sofa at the back there. You can change them so they don't have the arms, and that looks a little bit more like bus seats, I feel. Copying and pasting some of the seats on the left and the right, and taking away some of the arms makes it feel a bit more like a bus. I'm quite happy with that, actually. It's starting to look bus-like. It's great. It's got 2 of those seats at the front that you can sit in and sort of aim your body sideways. Kind of weird. I'm going to have these little stick things in the middle. That's going to accommodate the button you can press to ding when you want to get off. That's great. The front of the bus is pretty much done. At the back of the bus, I tried some yellow blocks, which didn't look right. I kind of like white and green for this bus, so I changed those blocks at the back to be white instead. Keep it simple. Now I'm going to show you how I use the GUI tool and the gourd to put in windows. First I put in a clear window, and then I turned it into an entity, and then you can shift it around with the GUI tool. I copied the code, got to put this window in my offhand, and add another block state. Change the facing to north and south true, then you can see it. Shift it across with the x-axis so it matches the other one, and then you can shift it down on the y-axis to make this sort of window pane. I could use the Axiom mod to make a double windows pane, but I quite like the look of this one actually. I put in these green blocks, which I'm going to turn all of them into entities with, and then paste the code, you see? That looks great, so do that with all of these blocks here. Whoops, I put in an extra piece of glass there, that was a mistake. And then you can just basically paste in the code to have windows for this ice cream van. Pretty good that, I'm happy with that. All of those have gone in nicely. It was a quite easy process to do. And then basically I'll just go around to the other side and do the exact same thing. Some of these windows do need to be maybe a square of white, something to hide it. It's not all windows, is it, in a bus? You have these like platforms in the middle. Whoops, I put a block on the lamp there, oh that's a mistake. Put those last 2 in, turn all those into entities as well, and then I can paste in the code again. Putting a few pieces of glass there, it's a bit of a mistake. So here you just paste in the code, and then this time I need to shift it forward. So shift that window forward, click the other window, shift that one forward as well, or back I guess, copy that code, and then just paste it in to all of the other blocks. Now I've got myself a nice little window design in the bus. It's not perfect because I do need to have a few dividers in there. So let's get to adding those dividers. Here look, I'm using the Axiom mod to put in this white plank. I guess it is really. I could use trapdoors for that or something, but I've decided to use the Axiom mod because why not? Again, I have to do that around the other side as well. So destroy some of the windows, change them back so they've got the full facing, and then stick in the piece. That looks good. Inside the bus, I'll have a couple of lights and a couple of posters. Pretty good. At the top of the bus, I thought I'd try putting a little map thing again, but it didn't look right, so I removed all of those things, and then I added the image maps for the front of the bus, which shows where the service is going to go. This is going to Sunshine, which is here. And that's pretty much the bus for the Mitsumaru bus service complete. Now I need to make a bus stand or something, one of those bus stops. This is going to be like a simple shed design. I'm using utility poles at the bottom, that's the sort of silvery one, and then medieval poles to act as the stand for the bus stop. At the back of the bus stop, I'm going to use these sort of stone slabs and some black acacia to make a little hole design there. I'm just going to change those to try with black acacia the whole thing. But no, I don't know, it doesn't really look right. So what I decide to do in the end is change it. What I'm going to do here is put in some of these slabs. I think it's sort of a tile design, and I think they look pretty good. It's like a little concrete slab. I put those across with the GUI tool, make sure that everything is sitting decently, and then I can start adding the cover to the bus stand. What I'm going to do here is use utility poles and then shift them across like that to act as a frame. I'll stick in more of those utility poles at the front, and I've got a decent looking kind of bus stand now. I'm going to put in more utility poles that can hold the roof. It's quite a simple bus stand design, really. At the side of the bus stop, I'm going to have these rain sheds that act as little opaque windows that you can find at bus stands like this. It looks pretty good. I kind of regret not having a more modernist type of bus stop, but this one's pretty good. I've definitely seen these in cities. These are the kind of places that you come to when you've really got to get out of the rain and you desperately need the bus to get to where you need to go. At the top of the bus stop, I'm going to have these little awnings, green and white, I like those, and a simple lime green cover. For the lime green cover, I use half slabs, and they are lime green blind walls. I think it looks pretty good like that. I had a couple of lights, and then I need to copy and paste this bus stand to be in different places around the city. This is the bus stop for Sunshine Street. If I head down here towards the apartment blocks and the office, you can see Hondori Street, and there is the bus station, or the bus stop. That's pretty much what I need to have there. I also need to have one heading towards Factory Avenue. This one actually took a lot of editing to fix, because when you copy and paste something with the Axiom mod, some of the blocks are invisible and they clip through, and it's a little bit strange. I can't quite figure out that. It's a very quirky thing. You see those bits in the middle are missing, but they are actually there, so it's a bit strange, really. Once I've changed all of those things around, I'm going to move on to putting the final bus stop in, and that one is going to be on the new street called Craft Street over here. This is going to have some high-end different buildings. You see how those things are clipping? You can kind of see them, but they're not really there. They're there at the back, but they're not there at the front. It's a very strange situation, but what are you going to do? Anyway, there's the bus service, look. You can see it goes all the way around Sunshine Street, Hondori Street, Factory Avenue, and then back down to Craft Street. I'm quite happy with this. It's one bus route of many, perhaps, but making the bus is not easy, so I don't know if I want to do that again and again and again, but that is my bus service design for this video. If you've liked it, subscribe, send me a comment as well. What should I build next in Mitsumaru City? I do know what I'm going to build next. It's going to be a Starbucks. Tune in next time for the Starbucks build. I'll see you next time.